I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank everyone for showing up this evening. I'll call this meeting to order. Our first order of business is public announcements. In December, Council will begin reviewing appointment applications for several open volunteer positions on many local boards and committees, including the following: Budget Committee, Planning Board, Land Use Board of Appeals, Economic Development Committee, Board of Assessment Review, Voter Registration Board of Appeals. If you are interested in serving your community, please complete the appointment application form available at www.fairfieldme.com or at the town office. Appointments are made at the Town Council's January annual organizational meeting. The 2019 dog licensing tags are available at the town office. Current 2018 dog licenses expire on December 31st. The Lawrence Public Library will be hosting their annual Children's Visit with Santa on Thursday, December 13th at 6 p.m. And non-essential town services will be closed on December 24th and 25th in observance of the Christmas holiday. Our second order of business is public hearings. Our first public hearing, to hear from the public on a liquor license application, Class 1 restaurant submitted by Fairfield Restaurant Group, Incorporated, doing business as Sonny's, 146 Main Street in Fairfield. Declare this public hearing now open. Is there anyone from the public that wishes to speak at this time? Seeing none, I declare this public hearing closed. Our second public hearing, to hear from the public on an application for a special amusement permit submitted by VFW Post 6924, located at 246 Main Street in Fairfield. Declare this public meeting open. No one from the public wishes to speak, and I declare this public meeting closed. Number 3, to hear from the public on a proposed revision to the General Assistance Ordinance, state and statute updates. Is there anyone from the public that wishes to speak at this time? Seeing none, I declare this public meeting closed. To hear from the public on a proposed revision to the Public Safety Ordinance, Article 3, taxi cab fee updates, and Article 5, addition of precious metal dealers. Is there anyone from the public that wishes to speak on this? Seeing none, I declare this public hearing closed. And that concludes our public hearings for this evening. Our third order of business is public comments. Members of the public may speak to the council on any item or reserve the right to speak on a specific item that is on the meeting agenda when it is addressed. Is there anyone from the public that wishes to speak at this time or reserve the right to speak?
Yes, we'd like to reserve the right to speak on item 100.
And your names?
Randy Butler.
Michael Hinkley Gordon.
I'm sorry, that was Mike what?
Hinkley Gordon.
Thank you.
Okay. And moving on, our fourth order of business, reports from staff and committees. Town manager's report.
So on November 28th, I attended the marketing committee meeting at First Park. On December 4th, we had an economic community development meeting. That group hasn't met in a while, and it was good for them to get back together. And I can either let John give you an update on that afterwards, or I can when I'm done. The economic community development meeting that we had. And then also that same day, we had a KV-COG board of directors meeting as well. And then on December 12th, just today, I was at a meeting in Waterville. We had a meeting of some of the local managers regarding streetlight conversion. We were fortunate enough, Mike Roy had made arrangements for the folks in Augusta that's currently in charge of their undertaking to come and give a in-depth presentation to us, actually, about all the things that they've gone through. So there was a lot of great information in that. And then also, I'm still anticipating that we will get an environmental scientist intern from Colby for their Jan plan during January that will do all of our financial analysis for us and the cost associated with converting streetlights and then the potential municipal ownership or whether staying with CMP. So we're still moving forward with all of that. And then just as an update, the insurance company did cover the repairs to our fire truck that you approved at the last meeting. So there's just our deductible that we'll have to fund for that, and they'll fund the rest. So that was good. And then Summit Geotechnical was here this past Monday to do the ground penetrating radar as well as the test bores. They did ground penetrating inside and outside. The test bores were outside only. Once they review those results, then they'll determine whether or not they have to do anything inside for additional bores. So we're waiting on those results to come in. So, but that's it for me.
And the committee,
Go ahead, Michelle.
Okay, so with the Economic Community Development Committee met, reestablished their schedules for the first Tuesday of the month at 8:30, 8 or 8:30? 8:30 here. They're working on what their goals are going to be for next year and how they plan to obtain those. A lot of conversation around playground pieces that we're looking to do on Mill Island Park. Also reviewed a press release regarding our facade and marketing program that we have that was drafted by the Central Maine Growth Council, so to get that out, so to make people aware that we do have that program going and various different things. So it was a good meeting.
very nice, thank you. All right, moving on to our fifth order of business, to waive the reading of and accept the minutes as printed or amended for meeting number 2018-20 held on November 18th, 2018.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed, abstain.
0.
One abstain. Our sixth order of business, the treasurer's warrant, to approve the treasurer's warrant number 35 in the amount of $458,762.46.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Motion carries. All right, our seventh order of business, take action on the following items of business. Item 1891, order that the town council hereby approves a liquor license application, Class 1 restaurant submitted by Fairfield Restaurant Group Incorporated, DBA Sonny's, 146 Main Street in Fairfield.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Motion carries. Item 18-92, order that the town council hereby approve an application for a special amusement permit submitted by VFW Post 6924 located at 246 Main Street in Fairfield.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Motion carries. Item 18-93, order that the town council hereby adopts the general assistance ordinance as amended.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Motion carries. Item 18-94, order that the town council hereby adopts the public safety ordinance as amended.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
One comment that I would like to make, well, a couple of comments actually. If you saw the newspaper article recently that was done regarding taxi cab licenses and taxi cab businesses and how they're treated amongst the municipalities for Waterville, Oakland, ourselves, and Winslow, it brought to light a couple of different things where we thought maybe we might need to take a little bit of a deeper dive into that ordinance. So with conversations with the police chief, we want to make sure that that we're not charging any business any more than we would charge anybody else, and it's not our intent to make taxi businesses more expensive than any other region, as well as the fact that we want to make sure there's continuity and safety, and it sounds as though there's a lot of duplication that's being done at different levels. So your revisions tonight really just deal with the fees that we currently charge and moving them out of the ordinance. They were minor fees. So with passing, if you were to pass tonight's ordinance, it's not, doesn't really address those issues that we were talking about. So what we'd like to do is make a recommendation that you do go ahead and pass tonight, but know that we're going to take a bit of a deeper dive into this ordinance based on this newspaper article, so to make sure that everybody is being treated fairly, and we'll do our best to try to coordinate those efforts within the region. So
That'll be coming up as a workshop item sometime in the
yes,
future?
we'll bring it back to you as a workshop item. It'll probably be, a good month or so before we do that, because I think it'll be some additional conversations. It's okay.
That's fantastic.
It won't be at your next meeting.
Okay, then. So you folks will be seeing it coming up.
Yes, we know.
All right. Is there any further discussion on that? Seeing none, all those in favor? Motion carries. Item 18-95, order the town council hereby adopts and updates the Town of Fairfield Town Council Administrative Policies Addendum A fee schedule to include corresponding updates to the public safety, Article 3 taxi cabs, and Article 5 precious metals.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Any additional information from the town manager?
None.
None. All those in favor? Motion carries. Item 18-96, order that the town council hereby authorizes the town clerk to issue a blanket letter of approval to the Fairfield VFW Memorial Post 6924 located at 246 Main Street to operate bingo, beano, games of chance, and cribbage for the period of January 1, 2018, how about 2019 through December 31st, 2019.
That'd be a
Making
good
that
idea.
correction.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Motion carries.
The same with the next
Same
one,
with the
too.
next
It's got to be corrected as well, since 2008.
Already corrected. Thank
Okay.
you.
You're welcome.
So,
1898.
97.
You 97.
97.
Oh, I'm sorry, 97.
I gotta finish 97
Yeah, that's
here
right.
first.
That's what I meant. I meant 97.
Oh, 97 is being corrected. Yes. 1897, order that the town council hereby authorizes the town clerk to issue a blanket letter of approval to the Grover Hinckley American Legion Post number 14 located at 86 Main Street to operate bingo, beano, games of chance, and cribbage for the period of January 1, 2019 to December 31st, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, when do they have those games anyways?
I don't know.
Does
All the
anybody?
time.
It must be a Pacific night, right?
No, not necessarily. You can do some of the stuff at the bar.
Really?
Some of it's at the bar. The cribbage games and stuff are different, but, for example, talking about the bingo and beano games of chance, those are at the bar.
Those are like the pull tickets.
Is that
Yeah,
open,
pull
is
ticket,
that
like a
open
pull.
to the general
They're
public?
like a
or
pull
is it-
ticket or a punch
Is it
out.
open to the general
No,
public?
it's open only to Legion members and their guests.
Okay.
Anything else? No? One more thing, yes?
So this is an annual housekeeping item. We issue this on an annual basis to allow these entities to go to the state when they're filing, on their regular filing throughout the year for these options.
Yep.
But they have to get permission and they have to buy stuff from the state. get permission
Oh,
from
yeah,
the state. and
they're
everything.
mandated by the
Yep.
state, I know that.
Yep.
So, all those in favor? Motion carries. Item number 18-98, order the town council hereby accept the resignation of Buffy Higgins, candidate-elect to the MSAD 49 School Board, and sets deadline to receive letters of interest addressed to the Fairfield Town Council for appointment consideration to fill the vacancy.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? What's the deadline date?
I pulled the history on any time this circumstance has occurred, and you've always set the deadline for the very next meeting so that the other entity, MSAD 49, can get going. We already have an applicant.
So it's December 26th. then.
December 26th is the recommended date, if you would like to consider that.
So,
Make that amendment and motion on December.
I think that
20.
that's enough time considering the
Oh,
holiday.
yeah, and I second that motion, by the way.
I figure if they really want it, they'll contact us.
That's right.
True,
If they don't want it, they won't contact us.
that's true.
Received other inquiries, but no names. But we definitely have one solid applicant, somebody that served on both the council and the school board previously and filled vacancies.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yep.
Very good. Is there any objection to the friendly amendment to put the December 26th date in there? No? Okay. All right, with that, all those in favor? Motion carries. Item number 18-99, order that the town council hereby approves a $3,461.63 to be expended from the computer capital reserve account for town office computer. 737, wait a minute. That doesn't make any sense. Computer reserve account from the town office of $737 and the police department server of $2,724.63 for a total of $3,461.63.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? What happened? Did we have a failure?
Yes.
Neither have failed. So the town office computer is one that has been scheduled for replacement. It was scheduled for replacement last year, but we had one that was out of schedule fail, so we didn't replace it and we put it off. So we had this one that was scheduled to be replaced this year, and we had another one fail that was out of schedule. So we budget every year within the administration budget for a computer replacement. But only for the one, and we used that for the failure. So this is coming out of the computer reserve account for the regularly scheduled, but don't have the funds for in administration. And then the server is something that we needed to replace anyway. The police department server was purchased in July of 2007. It was scheduled to be replaced in June of 2012. The item has been put off for many years and can no longer be postponed. We're currently out of memory capacity. In fact, actually, they're literally moving things in order to continue with backups. And it was something that we were going to look at doing for next year. However, we found that we right now can get the new server reduced by 55%. So it's a $3,330.11 savings if we purchase this server right now at $227.24.63.
Fantastic.
Right? So that's why these are here.
Awesome. Any other discussion, comments, concerns, questions? No? Well, then all those in favor? Motion carries. Item number 18-100, order that the town council hereby authorizes the Fairfield licensed plumbing inspector to approve and issue permits for the installation of a specified holding tank at Goodwill Hinckley for wastewater to be generated by a new barn building that will be constructed on Essler Drive.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. And for discussion, we had some folks from the audience that wish to speak.
We were constructing a 40 by...
Right up here to the microphone, if you would, please.
Instead of look important right there at the podium.
Right? So we're in the process of constructing a 40 by 40 structure monitoring barn to be used for storage of small garden tools, midsection of a demonstration for small projects for our kids, and the third section, bay area, a small kitchen area type setup where we can wash vegetables, heat up some of our produce that we're growing on our campus. And there was some demonstrations from time to time throughout the year, but it's a structure that we get a hands-on learning to our students. And we received State Fire Marshal approval. We have plans, I think you all have plans too in your packets of the structure. Because when we rinsing vegetables, we need somewhere for that water to go. So the best alternative is a 2,000-gallon holding tank. I met with Robert Gilchrist last Friday, site planner, and working with Randy Butler from Driving Engineering, who developed the plans. And so the next step for us is to secure a permit to install a holding tank for any water runoff.
And the way that the reason this is before you is because the way the permits for holding tanks work, a licensed plumbing inspector is not allowed to sign off on them without municipal officer's approval. So that's why this is here. This just came up yesterday, where they realized that they weren't going to be able to do an actual septic system. And so because they're ready for construction, we made sure we got it on this agenda for you, so that we're not interfering with that construction process and holding anything up. So
Right.
that's why this is here.
You don't want to hold them up.
And that does require signatures on the form that Michelle has.
Yes, yep. We have that for the council. Yep.
And I'd like to thank Michelle, Nicole, Martin, and the council for allowing us to speak tonight on this project. It's going to be a worthwhile project for our kids, and it's all good.
Excellent. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Did you want to speak, or you were all set?
He's here for technical assistance.
Unless you have a technical question.
Not at the moment.
Get me off the hook.
You're off the hook for the evening.
Off the hook.
Any other questions, concerns, comments? No? All right, with that, all those in favor? Motion carries.
So everything should be ready for you at the office tomorrow.
Okay.
Nicole had to go out of town, but she actually signed her portion this evening. So it's ready for them to sign. She's got everything written up, so all you have to do is come in and pay for everything and take care of it with the girls tomorrow morning.
Yeah, we have the checks ready, so thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
welcome.
Have a good night.
Happy holidays.
You too.
You too.
See you, Mike.
You can say Merry Christmas, Mike.
Merry Christmas. Hello.
Happy Hanukkah.
All right, our eighth order of business, council workshop and other business. And the first one, discuss subdivision ordinance, section 12.7, proposed amendment.
Yep.
Yes.
That has been around for a while.
It's not me.
Not me.
Would you like me to give a brief explanation?
By all means.
So, within our subdivision ordinance, which, just to back up for a little bit, aesthetically we are going to be doing a substantial amount of rewriting to, just because of the fact that the ordinance originally was a document created in Excel. So we're not rewriting it for content, we're rewriting it for format. It just needs to be redone as a Word document so that it's easier for us to use and utilize. But we currently have a section within the subdivision ordinance regarding town roads. And the issue recently came up about approving roads in subdivisions prior to there being any development of the subdivision itself. So there have been some municipalities out there that have adopted roads in subdivisions. An individual went in and bought the last lot in the subdivision and then proceeded to buy all of the lots around them.
Yes.
So the town adopted a road which is in essence this gentleman's driveway, and they now have to maintain it, or because of the new changes in road dissolution laws, have to pay him 20 years worth of damages if they discontinue the road.
Ouch.
This came up in the southern part of the state. There was another one that had a similar issue. We have an issue. We currently have a subdivision here where most of the lots are being purchased by people who have bought lots and they've built houses, and then they've purchased lots next door to them, which they plan to keep vacant because they wanted additional land. And I don't begrudge anybody for owning as much property as they would like to own, but oftentimes what happens is that as a municipality, when you take on the adoption of a road, you're looking at the tax dollars that are going to be generated by that subdivision to pay for its maintenance. And what's happened in the past is that if you have 1 or 2 or 3 roads, they certainly are not generating the income through property taxes that it needs to maintain that road service. So what we've done, what the planning board did is they took a look at this section 22.7 and they now have a new suggested wording to come back, whereas the municipal officers would only upon completion of all street construction and only after 75% of the lots approved in the subdivision have been filled and certificates of occupancy have been issued. Originally, the wording was put forth as 50% of the subdivisions, and the planning board, when they reviewed, thought that it should be at 75. This will instigate further need for subdivision associations, those sort of pieces. But it would keep the municipality from having to maintain someone's driveway in the future when it comes to a subdivision. So this came up on the listserv for municipal managers, and it was something that once we looked into it, thought maybe this should be addressed so that a similar situation doesn't happen to our municipality.
Yeah, the only thing is, when, it's, unless I'm misreading the wording and stuff, it still doesn't sound like that somebody couldn't come in and...
Oh, somebody could.
Buy
Yes,
lots.
no, it doesn't prevent anybody from doing that. So if you wanted to go into a subdivision and purchase all of their lots, what they're saying is that as a municipality, we should not approve the road adopt the road that is created in a subdivision.
Yeah.
Prior to the subdivision actually being 75% filled.
So you're talking about an actual building, not,
Right.
not
Right,
a sold
not
lot.
just purchased.
Well, that's what I'm...
Yeah, letters of
that's my
occupancy
concern
actually
was.
issued.
Yeah.
So it says, only after 75% of all lots in the approved original subdivision final plans as filed with the Somerset County Registry of Deeds have been developed and received final certificates of occupancy for the structures from the town of Fairfield. So it doesn't
Right.
prevent
Okay.
anybody from going in and buying
Yeah.
lots next door.
No, I think
vacantly.
that's I agree with that, because that does happen, where you could get a big, long road, have that put in, and then 2 people go in and buy up all the other land, and they got an estate for life, and the town takes care of the road.
That's correct.
That works.
So like we said, the planning board has reviewed this. We got it to you for discussion. And then we're going to go back through this ordinance with a fine-tooth comb just to fix
Right.
all of the formatting pieces.
And bring it back to us.
And then we'll bring it back
Yep.
to you.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Very good, thank you. Other council business. Courtney?
Nothing for me.
Beverly?
Yeah, actually, I'd like to wish everybody here in Fairfield a happy Merry Christmas, a happy Hanukkah, and we won't be seeing you till after the holidays, so I thought that would be a good idea. And that's all I've got to say
Yeah.
on that.
And I'll ditto that.
We're gonna doodle that one.
He's gonna diddle it, huh? Okay.
I think that would be the general consensus of the council.
Yeah, I
That
think so,
everyone
too.
have a safe,
So moved.
safe and happy holidays. All right, well, then with that, the next regular meeting of the Fairfield Town Council will be on Wednesday, December 26, 2018.
That's it.
And at this time, the council will recess and sign all documents that require signatures of our members. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. We are in recess.
Planning board documents.